Ladies and gentlemen, the time has arrived. As we get further and further in this spring 2025 anime season, it's time for us to dig through the rankings and answer the question that we have every single season. Is your favorite anime actually popular in Japan? This is a video series we dive into the available charts out of Japan and compare them to Western aggregation sites. Because despite what some may think, Japan has better taste than Western weebs. Before we start, the usual disclaimers. These rankings are based on different sites, more geared towards Japanese viewership. This can be through streaming sites, Japanese television aggregation sites, and whatnot. All data is taken on the day of recording and can fluctuate based on episode airing, availability, exclusivity, early airings, etc. This data is not the end-all be-all. It does not mean your favorite anime sucks. It's simply an interesting way to analyze interest in certain series. And honestly gives us a good perspective on the success of certain properties, because despite how well a show does in the West, most of the time all that matters for a lot of these companies is how many eyeballs it gets in Japan. Because yes, in most cases, they're advertisement for source material that yes, makes them a lot of money. With that all the way, let's just dive right into it, starting things off with how well things are doing globally based on English data sites. To do this, we will use My Anime List and AniChart, and thankfully, like similar to last season, both sites are pretty similar. Currently sitting at number 10 on Mal is Kowloon Generic Romance, which makes me really happy. This is a series that I thought honestly was not going to do well in the West because it's not anime. It's not your typical shonen, it's not super ecchi, it's not a comedy, none of that kind of stuff. And so I figured it wasn't going to do well, but I think a lot of people are kind of getting that word out. The word of mouth is really spreading, and yes, earlier episodes is very clippable. I have one particular post that I made on Twitter that it's blowing up, and it has a certain main character who is very sweaty, I'll just say that. But again, very happy to see that, especially because the series is just one of those ones that's really fun to talk to other people about. I've been enjoying doing weekly videos on it, really analyzing all the crazy mysteries in it. And it's cool to see that on AniChart, it's also sitting at 8 as well. So folks over there have better taste than, Mal, of course. At number 9, we have Killing Slimes for 300 Years, which is really cool to see that as well. It coming back, it has a lot of fandom kind of still supporting it. At number 8, we have My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Kind of surprised to see that so low. I would expect that something from the My Hero Academia series to kind of have a lot more attention there, but I guess it's one of those ones that kind of caught people off guard. At number 7, really happy to see it there. To Be Hero X. Yes, it is technically a Chinese property and a Chinese animated property, but yes, it's being produced in Japan, so it's really cool to see it that high because I've been really enjoying it. Then sitting at number 6, yes, it's still holding on. The Beginning After the End. Now, I will probably say that's a lot to do with the fact that a lot of hype was for the show early on. I'm kind of curious how many people are still actually watching it. Most of the people that I know, that I talk to on a regular basis, most of them have all dropped it at this point. It's unfortunate that the production for it, but there is still a lot of people that are still holding on to it. But I would probably say that most of the memberships for that is probably pre-established. The rankings on it is not doing good. I think it's about close to start going under 5, so a 5.0, which isn't great. At number 5, Witch Watch. This is a show that I think has been pretty much climbing up Mal ever since it first began. This is a show that really did catch on to a lot of people, and it has been growing and growing in popularity. So it's already got to 5. I wouldn't be surprised if it might actually make it 2 more ranks up before the season ends. So really cool to see that. The show's a lot of fun. At number 4, yes, Windbreaker Season 2. The fandom for Windbreaker is really hot. So people are really enjoying the series. They're glad to see it back, and it's doing very well. Then number 3, we have Lazarus. Another one that I think, similar to Tabat, had already pretty much a pre-established fandom for it. So I'm kind of curious if that's sort of still holding it up there at number 3. A lot of people were hyped over the entire team that's working on that project. It's a lot of fun. So I'm assuming a lot of people are still enjoying it. Then number 2, Surprise to Nobody. Yes, Fire Force Season 3. Again, another one that everybody was super hyped for it to come around. The big shonen of the season. It's just still doing very well. And then, yes, number 1, It Never to Be Dethroned. I think every single season this show is going to be in. It's going to be at number 1, Apothecary Diaries 2nd season. This show is just dominating. This show is dominating not only in the West, but yes, as we will see later on, it's also dominating in Japan as well, which is absolutely fantastic, and I could not be more happy. Yes, I will put the stipulation here. It is technically a 2-core show, so that is one of the reasons why it has so many memberships. It already has an entire core to kind of build that up. So I will say that yes, that is a thing. Now, with that out of the way, with the global rankings out of the way, let's focus in on what is actually trending in Japan. Starting things off with Abema. For those that don't know, Abema is a very popular Japanese streaming site. They pretty much get every single anime that airs every single season on their website to stream it, sometimes the next day, most of the time on the same day as well. Kicking things off with number 10 on their site, we have Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire. Yes, that show is doing very, very well there, hitting it at number 10. Very interesting to see it that high. Again, I kind of iterate this every single time we do these lists. In a lot of cases with Japan, sometimes they just want a show where a character just has fun. A show that a popcorn type of show. A show that we can relax and just enjoy it. Which is similar to number 9, which is the same case there. Killing Slime for 300 Years, second season. Also doing very, very well on Abema. Then we can move on to number 8, which is Witch Watch, which is really cool to see it that high. Again, really nice to see that both in the Western sites and also in Japan, Witch Watch is doing very, very well. Which, based on the show and how it's going, yes, it's very much deserved. Then number 7, we have Windbreaker second season. Very surprised to see that show that far down. I guess it's not doing as well in Japan as it's doing in the West, but still, number 7 on the overall rankings is pretty huge, so really cool to see it there. Moving on to number 6, we have The Beginning After the End. Yes, it is somehow still holding on over on Abema. It is still holding that number 6 slot. It's not fallen down quite yet. I will note that despite the problems that we've kind of been seeing with production, it doesn't look like it's affecting the viewership for the show itself. The viewership is pretty steady. You would kind of assume that, similar to a lot of other people that are kind of voicing their concerns in the West, that after that 3 or so episode point, they would just start to kind of drop off of it, but it doesn't look like it's really affecting viewership. As I tell a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people really care how bad the visuals are. As long as the story's interesting, as long as it's something they want to enjoy, they're going to enjoy it. And yes, in a lot of cases, for a lot of isekai shows in Japan, even though they don't have much of a budget, they still do very well. As long as there's something there for escapism, they'll still enjoy it. Moving on from that though, number 5, we have Mobile Suit Gundam GQXU. Yes, over in Japan, they actually love their Gundam, and it does definitely show there. It's very unfortunate that on Mal, it's way down at like 27, but yes, over in Japan, they love their Gundam, and so they're going to support it. Yeah, you can technically make the argument that it's not much higher, but as we'll see later on, there's a lot more kind of viewership for that going to be on television. Number 4, we have Atelier Meister, which again is another one of the shows that's a very kind of relaxed type of show. Japan eats it up. They really enjoy it. And then moving on to number 3, we have Two Perfect Saint. That one's actually very much a surprise to see just how high that is. Definitely fits that kind of more feel-good type of show with every now and then kind of having some really nasty characters that gets their comeuppance, that type of series. But still, either way, really good to see it that high. Then we have probably the biggest surprise. Yes, number 2 on Abema, top in the chart. The Brilliant Healer. Yes, Yami Healer way up at number 2. They are absolutely loving it. I have seen some other charts that show that it is actually topping at number 1, but based on my actual numbers, which is to take the actual viewerships of all the episodes and add them all together, an equal amount of episode for every single show, Brilliant Healer is not at number 1, but still very much so competing with number 1, which is actually a big, massive surprise. And again, it's one of those shows where you don't really expect too much out of the show. Based on what I've watched of it, it's not an incredible show, but again, it's just a show that people just enjoy watching. A guy that's been betrayed by everybody and ends up kind of growing into something incredible. But yes, that all leads us into the number 1 anime of Abema currently right now, which again, no surprise to anybody. It was top in the charts back in its first season. Yes, Apothecary Diaries, second season. Absolutely dominating over in Japan. And I love to see it. Again, I love to see it. I love this show, so I'm happy to see it doing very, very well over there as well. Which, like I said earlier, is a really good sign for us to get a 3rd season. I love to see that they are seeing that it's actually doing very well, and there's a lot of hope for it to get even more adaptation. Moving on from Abema, our next site that we're going to look at is Amazon JP. Amazon JP actually has a lot of anime. Unlike in the West, where we have, 3 shows on there? In Japan, they pretty much get every single show. Now, the only difficult thing about Amazon JP is they don't have a reliable page where you can see the actual rankings. So I have to go to every single page for every single show and look at the actual rankings and how much rating they get. First things first, let's look at the number of ratings. How many people have actually rated the show itself? At number 10, we have Sword of the Demon Hunter, which is the first time we're actually seeing that show, which is really cool because I really like that series. So I hope that it gets more attention in Japan. Another one of those ones where I hope it does well in Japan, because we need another season. If it keeps this good, I hope we get another season. Then we have at number 9, Apothecary Diaries, second season. Not a really big shock there. I think it's going to be more people are going to be watching that on Abema than actually on Amazon JP, but still good to see it there. Then at number 8, we have Rock as a Girl's Modesty, which is really cool. Then, yes, number 7, Tabot. Tabot is over there as well. It's struggling, but it's there. Then at number 6, we have Uma Musume, which is our first time seeing that show as well. Number 5, The Evil Lord of the Intergalactic Empire. Again, seeing that over here, similar to Abema. Then number 4, Shoshimin. Now, I do want to note here that Shoshimin actually has the first core listed in with the second core. Typically, with all these shows, they usually kind of separate the seasons, but for this one, they're kind of keeping it all combined. So this one technically does have a little bit of a leg up from the previous season. Then number 3, we have I Left My A-Rank Party. Again, another show that has 2 cores currently airing for its rankings. Then at number 2, we have Mobile Suit Gundam GQX. Yes, that show very, very, very high up. Now, I will say this one has a lot of rankings on it, and that's mainly because, yes, there is a timed exclusivity for this show. It is on Amazon JP before it's on other platforms. So there's a lot of people going over there in order to watch it on Amazon JP before anywhere else. And this is also the case for the number 1, which is Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman, sitting at number 1 with the most rankings. By far, no contest. And yes, this one actually has a full exclusivity on Amazon JP. So if somebody wants to watch it online, they have to go to Amazon JP. So that's a big reason why this show has a very massive leap in rankings over everything else. Moving on from there, let's move on to the actual scoring for Amazon JP. Its actual ranking out of 5 stars. Kicking things off with number 10, with the most rankings and a 4-star is Vigilante My Hero Academia. Number 9, Black Butler. Number 8, Once Upon a Witch's Death. Number 7, A Ninja and Assassin Under One Roof Together. Number 6, Summer Pockets. Another showing of Summer Pockets. I love that show, so I'm happy to see it getting some attention. Number 5, Witch Watch. Again, doing very well on all platforms. Really awesome there. Number 4, Sword of the Demon Hunter. Number 3, Rock is a Girl's Modesty. Again, another one that's doing very well over there. And then we go into number 2. That's when we go to 4.5 out of 5 star, which is Apothecary Diaries. And then at number 1, big shocker here, number 1 on scoring for Amazon JP with a perfect 5-star, Uma Musume. Yes, Uma Musume doing very, very well on Amazon JP. Doesn't have the most rankings, but for the rankings that it does have, it comes out with a 5 out of 5. Moving on to our next site, we have Netflix Japan. Yes, for those that don't know, on Netflix, you can actually look at, based on rankings and different regions, what is actually doing very, very well on the platform. So I basically go through every single week that the current season is airing, look at what each show is listed on the list, and give it a score based on how high it is on the list. Starting things off, number 9, Brilliant Healer. Yes, it managed to chart one time at number 10. It was barely on there, but it made it, so it got up to that number 9 point. Then we have number 8, we have Gundam GQX. I think it was up on the rankings for 2 weeks. Then we have number 7, Witch Watch, doing very well there. Number 6, Lazarus. Number 5, yes, The Beginning After the End. It was on there for a couple of weeks as well. The Beginning of the End was on there as well. Tied at number 3, we have One Piece and Fire Force. Those 2 shonens are kind of fighting each other on Netflix. And then number 2, we have, yes, Windbreaker, 2nd season, doing very, very well for Netflix. Big shock there. And then, yes, number 1, similar to the last season that it was airing, still holding strong on the list, Apothecary Diaries 2nd season, doing incredibly well on Netflix. It's pretty crazy to have on Abema, Netflix, and as we see in a minute, yes, even on television, Apothecary Diaries is doing incredible. Moving on from TV services and websites, let's move into the realm of, yes, the old televisions, the old tube televisions, which we do have quite a few services that actually aggregates different rankings from different broadcasters. Starting things off with Video Research and Kanto, they do have a lot of like long-running series like Sazai-san, Detective Conan, Chibi Miracle-chan. Those are always going to top the charts at the 1 to 3 marks. So those are up there still. Then number 4, we have, yes, Mobile Suit Gundam GQX. Yes, doing very, very well on their service. Then number 6, we have Yaiba. Our first showing of Yaiba, which isn't too much of a surprise. I mean, Yaiba and Mobile Suit Gundam are very much so more geared towards older audiences, so definitely catches more attention for them. And yes, you have a lot more younger audience as well, picking up things like Yaiba for a new audience. And yes, you have other things like, yeah, Butt Detective, One Piece, Curious George, Idol Precure. A lot of these other ones are going to be on that service as well. Then our last aggregator we have is Anime Iga, which is using information from Demora. Sitting at their number 9, they have Brilliant Healer. Yes, the Brilliant Healer comes back again. This show has a massive fandom in Japan, and it's definitely holding on television as well. Then number 8, big surprise here, Rock is a Lady's Modesty. Really high up on that list. Really big shock there. Then at number 7, yes, it's still hanging on there. the beginning after the end, it keeps jumping up. The beginning after the end is still doing very, very well. Despite all the hate, it's still doing very, very well. Then number 6, we have Kowloon Generic Romance. Really happy to see that there again, even though it's not really doing very well anywhere else, like except for maybe again 22 and Abema, it's at least doing good over here. Then number 5, we have Witch Watch. Another good showing there as well. Number 4, Lazarus. Still holding on really strong there as well. Number 3, Old Country Bumpkin. This show is just doing so good, which is so good to see. Again, it was technically exclusive on Amazon, but even there, it was doing extremely well. Then, number 2, probably the biggest shock here, Dinner Detective. It's nowhere else. Dinner Detective is nowhere else, but somehow, right here, boop, there's Dinner Detective. Somebody must be doing some advertising for that show. It's still, good on them, good on them. And then, yes, for number 1, on Demora, no shock to anybody. You can all say it with me. Apothecary Diaries 2nd season. Yes, doing incredibly well. And that's it. That's all the rankings I have for you guys today. I think my biggest disappointment overall is, for those that don't know, I made this whole entire Japanese ranking video series because I wanted sort of a confirmation bias. I wanted to show that despite the fact that the West doesn't want to pay attention to my favorite shows, at least Japan loves my shows. The original one was Onimai. I seen how they loved Onimai and nobody else over here did. So I was a confirmation bias. And I was really hoping coming into this video series for this season that there would be some acknowledgement of Apocalypse Hotel and Ujije Mumu. Those 2 shows I absolutely loved, and I was really hoping to see it top in the charts over in Japan. And unfortunately, that's not the case. That is not the case at all. It is just barely even on any of these lists, and that's super unfortunate. Now, it could be that it's doing very well on a platform that I don't have data for. That could definitely be the case. I figure that's probably the case for To Be Hero X. I would assume it's probably doing very well on maybe ATX or something like that. But it's still a bummer. It is still a bummer for me. I was hoping to see it just somewhere. But either way, it's still exciting to see things like Gundam is doing very well in Japan, despite the fact that over in the West, it's not doing that very well. Now, granted, there is a massive fandom for Gundam in the West. It could just be that all those people that watch Gundam don't use MAL. And that's the case for everything here. It just could be that the fact that there's a massive fandom for something, they're just not on MAL. There's a lot of people that just watch anime and they don't care to use MAL. They don't care to use AniChart. They don't use those platforms to keep track of their shows. They just watch their shows and they're happy. Even still, the similarities across the board is really exciting. I'm glad to see again that Apothecary Diaries is doing both extremely well in the West and it's doing extremely well in Japan. I'll say it over and over again. It's great to see. Witch Watch doing great across the board was great as well. Windbreaker doing extremely well across the board, both West and in Japan. But I do have to admit the most interesting thing that I've seen in all this list is probably Brilliant Healer. And again, like I said, it's not too much of a shock because again, a lot of cases they just want shows to kind of relax and enjoy, but still incredibly well. And Old Country Bumpkin doing well on both streaming and Japan was cool to see as well, because I'm actually really enjoying that show, and my hope there is that that show will actually get another season for it. And lastly, yeah, Kowloon Generic Romance and Yaiba doing well on TV Japan was exciting to see as well. Again, those 2 shows just not really ranking anywhere else, but to see them doing strong there, it's really great to see. But anyhow, I hope you guys enjoy this video as always. It's always fun to kind of dig through all this data, add all these numbers up, add all the viewerships up, try to aggregate them all together and put them all on the list for you guys to enjoy. So I hope you guys actually enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button down below, comment. Let me know what the most surprising information that you got from this video. What was the big shocker? Did it make you think that your favorite anime sucks, or did it confirm your bias? Let me know. Additionally, if you like this content and you want to support channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. Until next time, y'all take care.